Understanding noun clauses as indirect objects can really enhance your grasp of sentence structure. Let's dive right in. First, let's clarify what an indirect object is. It's the recipient of the action in a sentence, but it doesn't directly receive the action like a direct object does. Instead, it tells us who benefits from or is affected by the action of the verb. For instance, in the sentence, she gave her friend a book. Her friend is the indirect object because she's the one receiving the book. Now, noun clauses can step into that indirect object role, and they do so quite elegantly. A noun clause is a subordinate clause that functions as a noun. It can replace a regular noun phrase in the indirect object position. Take the example. He gave whomever won the contest a prize. Here, whomever won the contest is the noun clause acting as the indirect object. It tells us who received the prize, and it's a complete thought within itself. Let's explore another example. The company awarded whichever employee worked the most hours a bonus. In this case, whichever employee worked the most hours is the noun clause serving as the indirect object. It specifies which employee is receiving the bonus, adding depth to the sentence. Now, let's not forget about present participle clauses. These can also function as indirect objects. For example, consider the sentence, "The doctor gave listening to the patient's concerns his full attention." Here, listening to the patient's concerns is the indirect object. It highlights what the doctor is focusing on, making the sentence more dynamic. Another example could be, "The teacher offered helping the students with their projects extra time." In this case, helping the students with their projects is the indirect object, indicating what the teacher is offering. So, what types of noun clauses can act as indirect objects? We have nominal relative clauses, which are formed with relative pronouns like whoever, whomever, whichever, and whatever. These clauses can add a layer of specificity and complexity to your sentences. Then we have present participle clauses, which start with a verb ending in ein. These can also serve as indirect objects, enriching your writing with more descriptive elements. Let's look at one more example for clarity. She promised whatever her friends needed her support. Here, whatever her friends needed is the noun clause acting as the indirect object, indicating what she is promising to support. Noun clauses as indirect objects not only make sentences more interesting but also allow for greater expression and nuance. They enable you to convey complex ideas succinctly, making your writing more engaging and informative. So, the next time you're crafting a sentence, think about how you can incorporate noun clauses as indirect objects. They can transform your writing, making it clearer and more impactful.